got back from a trip to Lowe's this morning where I found this really full Syngonium marked down to $7. The clearance plants really have become my favorite because I can bring them home, take them apart, I can make smaller plants, I can put them together with another plant that I maybe already have to make a bigger, fuller plant, and just kind of play around and not feel like I'm going to waste a bunch of money learning more about them. So what I'm going to do today is remove this from the soil that it's in, take a look at the roots, and then see how I want to divide and repot or propagate some what's left in here. Okay, I'm going to start by taking it out of the pot. So I want to get all of this soil removed. I have realized that even though sometimes the soil looks good and chunky, this white stuff that's in here is not perlite. It's actually just little styrofoam that's broken up. And the styrofoam actually can cause the plant to retain more moisture and lead to root rot. So even when I've tried to reuse this soil, I think it was a mistake, and now I'm just going to throw it all away. I don't want to be too rough trying to remove the soil, but I also really don't want to spend all day here. So just kind of gently trying to untangle and pull out some of this soil. I'm sure there are others that would go much smoother.
We're just going to speed through this process. It can be a pretty monotonous job, and I know the same goes for watching. Since the soil was dry, it was pretty compacted, so I'm just taking my time trying not to damage the roots.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull apart, this first little piece here. Finish up getting this off. Really want to try to get as much of this styrofoam off of these roots as I can.
It's really easy also to just rip those roots as you're pulling the dirt off, so you want to be careful.
Just gonna take a look in here and make sure there's no moss plug or anything that needs to come off of there. Do the same with this.
Some people will soak the roots in water for a little while. I think it makes the soil easier to just pull right off of there. It's just a whole extra step that I don't always like to do.
Okay, so we got all of the soil removed. I went and dumped that outside to get it out of our way. The next thing, I'm just gonna take a peek, and you probably already were. The roots really are in good shape. Some of these ends we can pull off. They're starting to look a little black. But up through here, we've got nice, firm, healthy roots. So after getting these out, I don't see a lot of nodes growing off, really sort of vining over yet. So I decided I don't want to cut any of these yet. I'm just going to plant both these into soil the way they are. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the dead leaves from here. Clean snips. Some of it I'll just pull off. Ones that are real dried up down here, we'll just pull. As you can see though, it's still got so much new growth in here. These Syngoniums have really soft stems, so they are more prone to these outside leaves just sort of falling over. Guess we'll go ahead and take care of these two here. And we'll take a look at this guy. Go ahead and leave that on there. Okay, so now we're ready to put them into soil. So, got some soil that I've mixed up. Just gonna put a little of this in the bottom. It's just a pretty chunky potting soil. I've added some orchid bark, some more perlite, and some worm castings to it, just for more drainage and nutrients for the plants. So, put this in here. Just add soil around. Sort of beat that down in there a little bit so we have it all around the roots. And look, we have really pretty potted Syngonium now. So here's the second part of my plant. We're just gonna do the same thing, a little bit of soil in the bottom here. I'm gonna get these roots down there. And I will tell you, this little mat is a lifesaver because you just don't really have to care if your soil doesn't make it into the pot. Okay, got another little pot we can stick this in. And we've got two really nice Syngoniums now for $7. So here we have our two Syngoniums that we made, all from a $7 clearance plant. They look great. I think they're gonna do really well. I love the deep green in this new one here. So I have this that I really plan to put together with the new one eventually. What I like to do though is after I first get some plants, I'll keep them separate for a couple of weeks. I don't want to introduce any pests into the rest of the house. So they have a little special place that they go and they stay, and I can investigate them. I'll spray them down with insecticidal soap and wipe the leaves really good. But anyway, I hope you all have gotten something from this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those below, and check us out on hamiltonroots.com.